We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Hear the drummer get wicked. Here we go again. Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's good, boy?
What up, bro?
Man, you know what? I finally. You ever come across those things that that your mama used to say to you that you find that you end up saying to your kids, right?
Oh yeah.
So one of the things happened today. So Landon had one of his homies over, and he was like, "Okay, well, I'm going outside."
Mm-hmm.
But every 5 minutes, I'm hearing them come inside. They're going back outside, going back, and it's not bothering anything. But after a while, it's starting to get on my nerves, bro. It literally is. I'm just like, I'm chilling out, and I'm hearing the door open, close. I'm hearing it open, close, open, close. I'm like, bro, either stay inside or stay outside, basically, though, man. And it was just driving me, and I just remember,
Or stop running in and out.
stop running in and out.
Run up my light bill.
Now, see, we didn't see. I didn't see. See, my mom never said we run up the light bill, but she said she used to say either you're gonna stay in the house,
Stay in or
stay outside. And so this is crazy because for me, I remember when I was growing up, we would be out. When we was out. It may be 1 o'clock, and we might not never come back in until dinner about 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And then we might go back out. Get a couple more hours in, that's it though. But oh my gosh, man, these boys just going in and out the house, in and out the house. And it wasn't even, and I felt like the old man because they wasn't bothering anybody, but it was just irritating the hell out of me though, bro. Just irritating the hell out of me though.
We're getting old.
Oh yeah, man. I was laying on the couch trying to take me the old man nap, and it just felt like I could not. So I had to go ahead and threaten them boys and say, listen, either y'all gonna be all the way out of here or all the way in here, but it ain't gonna be no back and forth though, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, look, I'm gonna do something we didn't get to last week. You ready?
Let's do it.
Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock.
Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I'm fine.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We're live on both platforms at the same time. And listen, by the way, shout out to everybody who isn't able to catch it when we go live that watch the replay, though, man. I think that we would be remiss if we didn't shout y'all out, because there are people that tell us all the time, I'm not able to catch it every single time they'll go live, but I do go back and watch it. So shout out to y'all. And shout out to my brother, because he ensures that regardless if we got 5 people on or 500 people watching at another time, that we try to get y'all quality content. Ace Kennedy.
5 or 5,000, brother.
5 or 5,000 is the motto.
Yeah. Yo, man, what was the best thing you saw this week?
Oh, okay. The best thing I've seen this week, last day of school for us was it yesterday? That Wednesday, last day of school. And so the thing that I was tripped out on the most is that I don't know if my son's school just didn't have like award ceremony. I'm looking online and I'm seeing people doing like 8th grade graduations, and I'm seeing people doing it, but I'm looking at it and I didn't see that they did any kind of ceremonies for his school. So I'm thinking like, well, wait a minute now. We had this deal going on here at the start of the year. So Landon comes out here, starts the top of the year off sluggish, right? And I don't know what it is. He was lacking, right? So I had to kind of give him some additional little incentive motivation, but I'm also having to check him about a bunch of stuff though, man. And because he knows the expectations, right? He of all kids has no reason that I don't think that my expectations of him and the missus' expectations of him are unrealistic, right? They're very achievable, but for him especially, right? And so he was lacking, and I'm like, I get it. You know, this is the first full year that y'all have been back to school in like 2 years. So this has been a big difference from you going to 4th grade, right? 5th grade, a little bit, y'all did a little bit. Now you're in 6th grade where you ain't the oldest kid, you're the younger kids. Girls look differently when you hit middle school, right? So it's like, I get it. So he was lacking, and we had this deal going on, man, where I was like, hey, I'm gonna give you the aggressive. Let me take some things away from you, right? To help you get back in focus, which worked, right? And he worked and turned this stuff around because he had fell off the honor roll for a whole minute right now. He's been on honor roll for a good little while. But I also told him at the end of the year, I'm like, listen, if you go ahead and, you know, tennis shoes is always a motivation. He's sneakerhead, you know, you hook him up, you spoiled him. That's what works, right? So I actually told him, I'm like, listen, you hit this honor roll, I'm letting you pick out any shoes that you want, any one of them that you want. So so I had the kicks in preparation. Now he was right on the borderline, right on the border. But I had him in preparation that he was going to do solid. So when I didn't see that they had this award ceremony, I'm like, yo, did you not get all the way? You had one final grade, literally one final grade to go in, one test on the last day of school. So I'm just like, did that mean you didn't make it? So he was just like, so I was like, nah. I had already showed him the kicks, right? I was like, nah, we hand him here. So he is like, I said, listen, the deal was AB honor roll, not AB almost no C's, right? So so he went and had to pull up his grades. He was like, nah, here you go right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the updated latest, and it was AB though, man. So that was very easy. The best thing I have seen all week, that my dude turned things around though, man. And like I knew he could, but so yeah. I'm a proud daddy over here about that though, man.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah. What about you, man?
This is the way. This is the way. This is the way.
The beat go hard.
Yeah. So it wasn't
hard now.
I know, right?
That beat go hard. That 808 was hitting on that, boy. And that kick was snapping, bro.
Hey, so it wasn't quite the Mandalorian, but it's straight Star Wars, bro. This is Star Wars celebration for all the Star Wars fans. So getting to see all the new, and then, bro, at about 9 o'clock your time, them boys done went ahead and dropped that Kenobi early, bro. So yeah, that Kenobi was the best thing that I seen all week, man. I've been waiting. I've been looking forward to this for some years. Back when they, talked about it was going to be a movie, and then they switched it up after the success of Mandalorian and decided to make it a series. So, yeah. It's been.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I ain't
like I'm playing, but let me tell you the reason why I didn't watch it. Right. So, I slid on out. It's Memorial Weekend, so I'm getting all the email. I got time, right? This is one of the few times where I was just all the way off work, where I was like, no, I'm not even looking at nothing. So I planned on getting all the emails from Nike and Adidas and everybody. Oh, we got 50% off and blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, I'm about to go ahead and be out and about in these stores and everything like that. So I was like, all right, between the time I got back, and then from the time that I was going to go ahead and hop on the pod, right? I was like, I'm going to go ahead and watch both of them back to back, boom, boom, boom. Because I was like, I planned it where I would probably get back home by 3. Then I talked to you about it, right? So then when I talked to you about it, I just so happened, right, to had you on speaker when I was talking, right? Len is like, what y'all talking about, right? I'm like, oh yeah, this is big though. This is the Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Just dropped, and this is one of those ones that there's an untold gap in the window in the timeline of Star Wars, and this little gap is supposed to kind of give you a little bit more color on what's been going on. So when he overheard you being excited about it, and I told him about that. He says, yeah, I want to watch it with you. I was like, oh, man. But, of course, as soon as we got home, he wanted to go outside immediately, though. So now we're planning to watch it after the pod, though.
He already said, if you end up watching it without him, he's just going to watch it by himself. He said that to you on the way out.
Well, listen, it's so I think that what's funny is that I do want to watch it with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't think that he's never really been into. He knows that I watch Mandalorian, and he kind of got an idea of who Mando is, Grogu, and all that other stuff. But he's never really watched it himself. So I'm hyped that he's interested in watching this, so that hopefully I can get him on Bad Bunch, Ahsoka, all the other ones, and everything like that. But you said that it's Star Wars weekend, so tell me what they released at the big convention.
So a couple of things.
I'm letting you have your Marauders moment here.
I ain't gonna get too nerdy because I know.
Get into it, man. This is your moment. This is your time.
I'm just saying. So the Andor series, which is if everybody who watched Rogue One, they're taking the dude's story that was in one of the main characters. They're basically showing how he got to that point. So they showed that. They showed a picture of the new Indiana Jones that's coming out. They showed the new Willow that's coming out. They talked about Willow, the old joint with Warwick Davis, the little short dude, Warwick Davis. He was in him and George Lucas go back, bro. Yeah, but Willow, they're doing a series on Disney Plus, so they talked about that.
Wow.
They talked about
they got a new Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so they showed just a still. It's coming out June 30th of 2023.
Oh, well, I thought you was about to say 2022. I was like, this summer, the Indiana Jones?
No, it's this summer's too crowded with movies, bro. And plus, they got a couple of scenes still left to shoot. But Harrison, what's up?
Did I tell you Indiana Jones is probably right there after Star Wars for me for best movie
Raiders of the Lost Ark, bro.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of those ones where I would that I can watch it anytime. Even the latest one, that new one that a lot of people just was like,
Crystal, something of the Crystal Skull or something like that.
Yeah, some people was like, I'm it's another one of those ones. And I know that it ain't like Star Wars where you could just keep making all these different Indiana Joneses, but it's one of those franchises that I thoroughly enjoy, very much like Mission Impossible.
Yeah. They dropped the people there got to see the trailer for Mando 3 that comes out in February. The new games, they got a new they had a Fallen Order Jedi game that came out probably 2 to 3 years ago. They showed the trailer for the new one that's coming out. They talked about stuff new that's happening at the parks. Didn't really touch on any movies, which people were kind of looking forward to. So yeah, everything Star Wars, people is down there just going crazy. So when you hear people talk about going to Comic-Con and stuff like that, this is like a Comic-Con specifically for Star Wars. But because Willow and Indiana Jones are properties under Lucasfilm, they showed those too.
Okay.
I know that was kind of weird. Like it's Star Wars Celebration. Y'all talking about Willow? Like that ain't. I mean, they could have had a separate thing for that, but
they're gonna have a Willow Comic-Con.
yeah. But all of the people was there. Like the people that play Ahsoka. Like now Rosario Dawson wasn't there, but the girl who originally was Ahsoka, like the voice actress Ashley Eckstein, she was there. Like the live action Bo-Katan, she was there. Boba Fett was there. Like all them boys was there. Anakin was there. Obi was there.
Listen, love me some Rosario Dawson, bro. I don't know if it this. I don't know. I don't know if this is weird, bro, because I think that this is one of those things where we were talking about on the last pod, right? Where when we were talking about preferences and everything like that of who you'd want to see or who would you date and everything like that, though. Rosario Dawson, bro, is probably like the Puerto Rican girl that not even J-Lo for me. Like I'm like, well, I ain't gonna say not J-Lo's still fine. Golly. But I think that differently from her. I think that what I look at though, bro, is I don't know why, but I look at Rosario Dawson like she is more. This is gonna sound crazy. Rosario Dawson seems to me like she's like everyday Puerto Rican. I think that J-Lo seems like celebrity Puerto Rican, and it seems a little different to me. And I don't know why, but I've always thought that about them, though, bro. But she is like the first time I ever saw her, though, I absolutely was like eyes and gaga love with her, though, bro.
Yeah,
but but it's even worse that she is Osaka, bro, because I absolutely love it.
What's it?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Ahsoka. I was thinking about the girl who
I know, the tennis player.
I just saw her on TV like literally 10 minutes ago.
No, they're filming Ahsoka right now. So Dave Filoni, who's the creator of everything, he came through a couple of panels and he was back out because they them boys is filming right now. So yeah. Anyway. That was the best thing that I seen this week was that Kenobi, and I'm glad you didn't see it because you'd have been on here spoiling stuff, knowing people just getting off work and ain't seen it yet.
Tuesday, I'm dropping all the spoilers if I watched it, bro. Listen,
Tuesday we talking about it.
I'm gonna give y'all the weekend. Y'all would have had more than enough time. Y'all would have had a long weekend now. So listen.
Not only that, because we get that new one next Wednesday. So yeah.
Oh yeah. We going up on that, bro. We definitely going up. Hey man, let me ask you this though, man. I wanted to get your opinion about something though, bro. Probably one of the worst things that I've seen this week was the elementary school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Of course, it hit. This is the funny thing about it though, man, because I tell people that I'm from Killeen, and people who don't necessarily understand the geographical locations of things in Texas, they was like, well, I've never heard of Killeen before, so I've never heard of Uvalde. Some people just think that Texas is just Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and then El Paso way out there, though, man. So when when this happened, people just didn't necessarily know like what to make of it, though, bro. But I think that one of the things that I find to be very crazy about this, though, man, is there's been a lot of finger pointing and blame about this whole thing, though, bro. I saw that Governor Greg Abbott, he was out there doing a press conference or something like that, though, man. And the boy Beto kind of interrupted him and basically was talking like this is on your hands, right? And then somebody was like, nah, this is on the hands of you and people like you and blah 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 blah. And then I saw that somebody tried to say, hey, this is due to like rap music and rap lyrics and blah 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 blah. But I'm just sitting here looking at this though, Ace, and the whole thing is mind blowing to me, right? You got some 18-year-old kid. They say he is bullied at his high school by high schoolers. Decides to go and shoot up an elementary school and kills 21 people, students, and listen, the whole thing, bro. What?
No, he was upset with his grandmother because he shot her first.
Shot the
grandma first. Initial reports is that she passed, but she was in critical condition. I don't know the current update of her, but yeah, he was upset with something with her. And then now, granted, all that stuff for them talking about him getting bullied in high school, don't know that story, never heard that one.
Yeah.
Because the thing is he was on social media. He had tagged some girl in a post about guns, and she was like, "Why did you tag me?" And he was like, "Oh, you'll find out," or something like that, and then posted again with her and basically said, "I'm about to." And so, you know, they all the stuff about him bullying or having mental health stuff going on, that part I don't know. I can't speak about that. I'm just going off of what parts I heard about it.
The thing that this is the thing that I always this is one thing that I'm blown away by, right? There's two parts to this, right? So part of this is I think the reason why the boy Beto was up in arms about this at the Greg Abbott conference is that in Texas recently, right? They basically signed it on up where you can it's like the Wild Wild West out there. You can carry and oddly enough, Georgia signed a similar one where you can you have the right to, you don't have to have you don't have to have a carry concealed license to carry your gun or something like that. But I think the thing that everybody feels like so indifferent about is that, bro, like, why exactly does the state allow an 18-year-old to be able to purchase an assault rifle and not even be able to buy a drink? You can't even buy a beer, bro, but you could buy an assault rifle. And what exactly is an 18-year-old doing with an assault rifle? Like, is that allowable? So that's where I think that things kind of come into arms. A disagreement on it's like, Texas is very much one of those, what I'm saying, right to bear arms, and they stand by, they double down, triple down on it. But I think the thing that's always interesting is that, it's like, yeah, you have the right to bear the arm, but how do you start to even draw a line, if there is a line that says, is there really do you really want to have an 18-year-old out there with an assault rifle able to, is it acceptable to have an 18-year-old walking around with guns on them, bro? Like that's when it comes down to it.
Well, the part that I hate is people making it political. Like, at the end of the day, yes, I do agree that there should be stricter laws when it comes to being able to have a firearm. For instance, I have my concealed carry license, and I had to go through a bunch of hoops in order to get it. I mean, a bunch of hoops. So I feel like, and even still, I still think there could be an additional step that I wouldn't have any issue with, because you basically fill out a questionnaire. But, after they review it, then what? Like, I still think it needs to be an interview process. And then after the interview, then you continue on down that path. But to just have people, any and everybody being able to have a weapon is terrible. But that still doesn't make it political, like trying to blame Republicans, Democrats, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, this tragedy happened, and we need better protection at our schools. This was an elementary school, mostly second and third graders. You know what I'm saying? And
well, that's one of the things that was interesting, right? Because they basically said that. So I don't know how it is, especially now with I don't know how it is with other places, especially with COVID. At Landon School, man, you can't even walk in there. Like, you literally have to be buzzed in. But even and basically be told and tell them what you're doing there. But even aside from that, though, right? I think one of the things that was interesting is that they basically said that, hey, you know what? The police waited 20 minutes, 45 minutes, or whatever the number is, before they actually came on in there, though, man. And I'm just like, it's so, I think that this one is just, it reminds you very much of the whole Sandy Hook thing, right? In Connecticut, where it's like this huge thing happened in this very small, obscure town. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what exactly could have been done to prevent it? Because, yeah, people try to say it's mental health. And I told you, I'm the first one I'll say that my disclaimer every time is that I try my best to understand it, but I don't. There are certain things that I don't. But I think that mental health a mental health issue isn't just native to the United States, right? So why does it happen so much more frequently in the United States? And we point to mental health. It doesn't, I mean, mental health happens in Germany. It's in France. It's in England. But you don't see these things happening like that. I think that in Europe a few years ago, something like that happened in like Sweden or something like that, or Norway. But you don't see about somebody with mental health issues in China going out and shooting up a school, or you don't see about this in Singapore. And that's my, it's not that I don't think that mental health is a thing, but it's like I don't hear about those things in other countries as causes for these kind of things.
But I don't want to turn it to just saying that mental health was the reason, right? I'm more so looking at the ease of getting the weapon. And I think that's the thing. That's why you don't hear about a bunch of that over, in other countries, because I don't know that their laws allow them to be able to do something like that.
See, some places though, but then that's the thing about it. You have those who believe, NRA members and all those lobbyists and people of that ilk feel like it should be easier. They want it easier for you to, they stand so much on that right to bear arms that they want it to be as easy as possible for you to be able to arm yourself.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, if it's something you want, then you will do the requirements to get it, period. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is that, of course, you're going to have two sides of the coin on beliefs on what it is. But the problem is something has to be done. If you want to protect your family, then you will do those steps it takes in order to get it.
Right.
And just, that's my two on it.
I get that, man.
But very much so, condolences and prayers to the families of those parents and I mean that community in general. My wife teaches at an elementary school. My daughter goes to an elementary school. So yeah, that's definitely one of those things that you just do not want to hear. So
yeah. I separately from that though, man, I think I saw somewhere, I saw somebody telling this story where they were at church, right? And they're sitting here at church service, and they kind of have a fairly small community or something like that though, man. But at this church, everybody kind of knows everybody though, bro, right? So Kat says we see this random white guy that nobody knows a dude comes to sit at the church, right? And church service. So Deuce, I'm looking over and it catches my eye because this is all black church. The only one he was like, hey man, I had to go on back out to the car. And when I went out to the car, I gave the usher the look like, I'm about to come back in here with that fire on me. Though, right? Yeah, he said, I'm gonna be out here with that fire on me. And then he said, what's funny about it is that he said, I even came in there, came back and sat right back down in my seat and almost like gave the pastor the nod, like, we at least good on this point right on over here. And I think that one of the other ushers went to the car and said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and pop that trunk just in case though, man.
Remind me when we get off the pod to just say something about that thing. I just remind me about that. I have an interesting story for you myself.
Hey, let me ask you this though, man. Playoffs. What you thinking about the latest and greatest? Because I feel good.
Oh yeah, I feel real good. I just need Boston to pull it on through.
You going for who do you think is going to win the whole thing?
See, that part I don't know. This is why I say that. I don't. So here's the thing. I am not hating on the Heat. I think the Heat have proven that they're a great team. Spost has proved that he's a great coach. But I think Tyler Hero was their downfall. As soon as he's because he's out for the rest of the year. So since he's out,
he's officially already out the way.
He's officially out. He's done for the rest of the season. So because of that, them boys is out. Whereas Boston,
what is he officially injuring?
I think a groin.
Let me see something, man.
Why you looking that up though? Boston is battle tested, right? Yep. So they have been able to take on all the adversity throughout the season and still find a way to win. So while Golden State is this powerhouse offensively, I think Boston just finds a way to win. Like they just seem to have a good game plan for each opponent, and they just find a way. I told you when Marcus Smart and Al Horford was out that they were going to struggle. When they came back, what did they do? Blow them boys out. So I think as long as Boston can be healthy, it's going to be a great series.
Listen, man.
What's up?
So this is funny because I wasn't necessarily, so for me, I'm not as invested in teams anymore. Mm-hmm. I like
players.
I like the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
I like Atlanta, right? Because Oklahoma's like a third home, fourth home for me, home city anyway. I love Oklahoma City. Atlanta, because I'm here, I try to root for them, and they make it hard for me, but I try. But I like players more than anything, though, man. So that said, I'm on a team, right, in the league with two cats from Miami, right? And before this Boston series start, right? They was puffing up. Oh, what you think about these Heat? What you think about we about to win the whole thing, right? And I was just like, nah, I don't think so, though, bro. They was like, dog, we had the best record in the East for a reason. I was like, dog, I can almost guarantee you that they ain't gonna win the whole thing, though, right? So this is like right around the time Jimmy Butler comes out here and he drops like a crazy stat on somebody. This is before he dropped 40 on somebody. Mm-hmm. But they was like, so once Jimmy Butler goes ahead and drop this crazy game, they want to put their money. They telling me, well, what you want to do on it? What you want to bet on that? I'm thinking like, okay, well, how about this? I had Warriors and Bucks. So that meant that I thought that the Bucks, I didn't anticipate that Chris Middleton wasn't going to come back, right?
Right.
Not that it would have made a difference.
I'm about to say, according to you, that wasn't going to make a difference that way.
I think that it would have I think it would have made a difference, right?
I do too. But I thought you said it wasn't gonna make a difference.
No. I don't think I don't remember saying that. And if I could be wrong,
okay.
but I don't remember saying that.
I thought it was you. It may have been Jerry.
No.
Okay.
I think the reason why I think it would have made a difference, right, is it goes back to the 30-20-20 rule that I told you, right? He was there. Giannis was gonna get his 30, maybe 40, right? But you were missing that 20-something point score, and that was the reason why I thought that it didn't work for them, right? But even with that said, though, right, I think that one of the things that I think that was so I did pick them thinking that Middleton was going to be back, that he wasn't really like that injured or whatnot, though, right? So he doesn't come back, and I'm still like, okay, so while even then, before I know this, we have this bet going. I said, well, you know what, man, y'all want to talk, buddy. I got a bet for you. Right, because that was like this was when the Suns were still playing early against New Orleans, right? Okay. New Orleans, and this was like at the early game of Steph and them playing against Memphis, right? And so I was like, listen, I'll tell y'all this though, man. I will guarantee y'all that the Warriors will make it to the finals. Guarantee it. That's my bet. So my bet to you is I bet you, right? I will bet you $40 that the Warriors will make it and that Miami won't make it, right?
Yeah,
they was like, I'll take that bet. I said, well, let's make it official then, right? So we shake it on the bet. I said, so just to clarify, if Miami gets there and the Warriors get there, nobody wins, right? Because then it says, I'm picking the Warriors, you picking Miami, we break even. But if the Warriors get there and Miami doesn't get there, $40 bet though, bro. So I got now after today, right? I got two $40 bets here. So I'm looking to collect immediately, right? So I already look the people who on my team who I got this bet with. I haven't even been saying anything, but they know the bet is there. So I just sent them boys the eyeballs, the looking message, right? When the Warriors got there, like, okay, so tomorrow,
step one.
Tomorrow I'm pulling up on Briscoe. Like, listen, I might give you your money back. I might just give you your money back. But I want you to feel, put that money in my hand, knowing you. It's not even about me getting your money. It's you feeling that I got to give this boy that money, though, man. Ben Landon said, oh, man, you about halfway to some new kicks there, man. You might as well go ahead and keep that. I was like, that's a good point there.
All right, it's Memorial Weekend too. Kicks on them.
Oh yeah, man. I might just listen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we out here, man.
And
I'm
that way,
feeling good.
hey, if you get that $40 from him, you can tell him.
He needs some milk.
Hey, but listen, I do believe, that the Warriors will win. And here's the thing: I think that this is what I think, right? I think that if the Warriors lose, though, right, I think that then Boston has arrived, because I told you before, I don't think that young teams win championships, right? Because when they had them, when they was all young and they got there to that finals, that conference finals, I think LeBron and them just OG'd them, right? And I think that they've had some lumps, you know what I'm saying? They took them L's, and I think that if they can win, I think that they could repeat, right? I don't see any reason to think that there's anything that would prevent them from running it back, right, next year, because you think about it. You don't know the status of KD and Kyrie, because what I've read is that if Kyrie is gone, KD probably is going to be gone as well, because they ain't the reason why he wanted to go to Brooklyn. You're going to put your money on James Harden to team up with Joel Embiid after what we saw. And the only other stiff competition, if these boys wash Miami like that, I don't see why they wouldn't wash them either way. Even with Tyler Hero, with all the people they got, I just thought that the Celtics are better. And so that basically means that the only competition you have is the Bucks. That would be a perennial stop to get you on over there. But then here's the flip side of it. Next year, right? Then you start to see what a fresh Kawhi, a fresh Paul George looks like, right? I think that then you see what the Mavs could potentially. I don't think the Mavs going to do too much crazier to get them over past where they are now.
They'll make some move, though. They're going to need something else.
They're going to need to. They need to, but the question, that this is the thing I try to tell people. They do need to do something. But who is out there that's going to put you over the top? Who's available?
Rudy Gobert. They're going to be looking at Rudy Gobert. They're going to be looking at Bradley Beal. They're going to be looking at
Bradley Beal might do it.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to think Bradley Beal gives me the Carmelo Anthony feel, where he is not going to be able to turn down the money. So I think that Bradley Beal will end up staying in Washington because he's going to get that $50 million a year bag. And I don't think that he could turn that down, bro.
Well, here's the thing with Bradley Beal. I just don't think he really cares about winning.
I wonder that as well. I think that if you said, this is my thing. If winning the championship isn't the goal of all the things that you do, then to me, that makes you a numbers mercenary to me. I have a problem. Like, that was the reason why I could never really love Carmelo Anthony, because he'll give you 26, 8, and 4 rebounds and 4 points on any team he go to, and it won't matter.
But here's the thing, though. I'm not saying that disrespectfully. I'm not saying that winning the championship isn't important, but I just don't think that it's going to change anything for him if his career is over and he don't win it, because it's like he had an opportunity to go join other teams that could potentially be contenders, and he turned it down. I think he's comfortable in Washington. He don't want to leave. Like, it just is what it is. So,
listen, man, the sands of times will forget about Bradley Beal if that's the case. There'll be a lot of guys who put up a lot of big numbers that people just do not discuss. Alex English is one of the people that always come to mind. That's someone who has one of the highest career averages that nobody ever talks about when it comes to great players. It's just, hey, he can score. And that is the deal. I think that Bradley Beal can put up those same numbers. Now, he is a person who I do think can play with Luka, because I think that Bradley Beal can give you 30 a game on any team. But then it goes to where you're saying, do you want to score 30 a game on it when it matters? Right? We don't know that he can, because he's always been with Washington. But I think that if he leaves Washington, then maybe at least now he's always in the conversation of being a number one guy. So if he leaves and joins Luka as the number 2 guy, then to me that changes the conversation and the narrative on Bradley Beal to me.
let me ask you this. Who's the new Charles Barkley if they don't win? Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, or James Harden?
You know what's crazy, bro?
Because I don't think I don't think
They different. They all a little
they're
different.
different. But this is what I'm saying. It's not like you're gonna forget about either one of those three. What I'm saying is, regardless of if either one of them ever win a ring, you're going to remember those three. Like you said, people will forget about Bradley Beal. You're not going to forget about Russ, James, or CP3.
Because Bradley Beal's never in a GOAT conversation. He's nowhere. He's never, for all the points and all the ability, Bradley Beal has never been there. But here's the thing about it. With that being said, I'm going to be honest. If we're talking about the three of those guys, unfortunately, I think that it will be CP3. And I'll tell you the reason why. I think that when it comes down to it, the reason why it will be CP3 is because I think that when it's all said and done, I think that on paper, he would have had the better career than all three of those guys. So he would say, this is out of those three, he has the greatest resume with no ring. Now, this is part of my dislike of James Harden, because it should be James Harden, right? Right. It should be that, because I can tell that losing hurts Chris Paul. Like, it matters to him that he loses. Yes. I don't think that it matters like that to James Harden.
No, I can see James Harden losing and then going to the club that night.
Going straight to the strip club. And so I think that because that's the case, though, bro, I think that James Harden should, right? Because listen, all three are top 75 players, but at some point, though, man, I mean, Chris Paul had those limitations, size, you know what I'm saying? All these different things where people try to injuries and everything like that.
And blocks to go to teams.
Yes. James Harden never had any of those. So I think that, and I do think that the expectation for James Harden at one point, in terms of, me listing everything, in terms of where he would fit on the all-time list, I think that people will always say, hey, you know what? Chris Paul is, top 3 point guard, top 5 point guard of all time. But there were people who were saying James Harden was probably one of the top perimeter scorers of all time, right? And I think that people spoke different about how much glow they would give James Harden. So I think that with all things considered, I personally think that it should be James Harden, but I think that him quitting, right? For him quitting all that stuff just also removed him from that level of conversation. It's like, all right, well, you already removed yourself from that GOAT list to me in the GOAT conversation. But I think that because Chris Paul never gave up, he'll have a better all-time resume, and he has to wear that.
You keep saying that, and every time you say it, it's like somebody punching me in my stomach. I just can't see that his career is better than Russ.
I think that Chris Paul's career is way better than Russ.
And let me say this: has nothing to do with me being the Westbrook fan that I am.
You sure about that?
I'm positive, because both, like I said, I know Chris, and Westbrook is my dude. So it's like that's my 1A, 1B favorite players. Like that's just what it is. So. But it's like something weird when you say that. Something hits me like, is Chris Paul's career better than Westbrook?
Chris Paul's career to me is better than Westbrook. I listen, I think that here's the thing. I think that what I feel, I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. I don't want to speak. I look at that. And like I said, I am all about the GOAT list and listing players. Mm-hmm. And I just think that people look at Chris Paul like he's a top 5 all-time point guard of all time. People are hesitant to put Chris Paul ahead of Isaiah Thomas only because Isaiah got the rings. And that's that. But Isaiah basically Isaiah beat Jordan, Magic, and Bird all in their prime, right, on his 2 rings. But people still may put Chris Paul ahead of that. Yeah. And I think that the reason why it's different, it does, people look at that, and Chris Paul's never won an MVP, even though Westbrook did win an MVP. But I think
he averaged
a triple double
4 years.
Yeah, but I think that it means something that for all the teams that Chris Paul played on, that he guided them to their best record ever in their franchise when he got there. That to me means something to me. But
they still didn't win nothing though.
Yeah, but neither did Westbrook though, right?
I get that. So that's
my thing. So this is my thing. So do you think that the triple doubles and Russ's one MVP outweighs Chris Paul's career, where Chris Paul was perennial? He got like 9 or 10 times all defensive team.
He has a perfect game.
He has the perfect game. He has that on his belt where he's led the league in assists several times over. Career average of 10 assists a game. I mean, Chris Paul's resume says to me that the only thing, like if Chris Paul had an MVP, right, on his, then I think it would be there would be no question to me.
But
his
you said the only thing that separates Chris Paul and Isaiah is the ring. So if the only thing that separates Westbrook and Chris is the MVP, then what I mean,
I just think that like this, man. I think that where I think that is, I think that no, it's not even just the ring, bro. I think it's the rings. Isaiah did it 2 times over. That's where it separates. But I think that the difference between, it's almost like, Doug, you know what it is, man. To me, it's almost like me and you being millionaires, right? But you got you being a millionaire, right? And you have a Ferrari also as one of your assets in your parking lot, right? In your driveway, you got that. But I don't got a Ferrari, right? I got a dope Escalade, but you know what? I got more properties than you, right? I got more assets than you. You're a millionaire as well. We did it different ways, and you got a Ferrari, but I'm a millionaire, and my additional assets that I have more than you, or that I got more homes than you, right? It's different to me, and it's different strokes for different folks. I just think that when I look at the all-time list, it would not surprise me if when they did the NBA top 20, top 75, if Chris Paul is significantly ahead of Russell Westbrook. Let me look at that list, man.
You know what? Now that more and more that we've been talking and I've been thinking about it, bro, you know who I think that, well, I can say that. I take that back. But let me ask you this. What do you think about Booker versus Bradley Beal? Are they interchangeable?
No, I don't. I personally would pick Booker over Bradley Beal, although I think that it also clearly tells me it depends on who you put around both of those guys. I think that Devin Booker looks like Bradley Beal without Chris Paul around. Right, but Bradley Beal, like Bradley Beal without Chris Paul. I think, you know what's funny? I think if you put Chris Paul next to Bradley Beal, and I bet you Bradley Beal would look so much more polished.
Yeah.
I'm looking on this list, and you know what I think is you know what I'm looking at this. Now the more and more I think about this NBA all-time, the 75 list, though, right? The more I look at this, and I see about 5 players that I just say, oh yeah, you could take them off the list, but they have Russell Westbrook ranked as number 68 out of 75. Made it, right? And where I'm trying to find out where Chris Paul is. They have Paul Pierce over Russell Westbrook. I don't know that I would necessarily put him there either. But I'm trying to roll up to see where they have. But the one thing I think that is interesting, though, they have Ray Allen rated pretty high. I think that Chris Paul and Russ may have better career averages numbers-wise than them. So that's what I said. I think a lot of it is impact of those numbers as well. But I'm scrolling on up, bro. And Steve Nash got 2 MVPs. And he's 37, right? But the more I'm scrolling on the Pippen 31, hold on, Allen Iverson 31, Dwayne Wade 30, Chris Paul is 29th. So remember how I told you Russell was like 68 and Chris Paul 29. I think that the gap between those two career is that wide to me.
Yeah,
that's about right to me.
Well, bro, give me this recap of this Verzuz, man.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. So
my God. It was dope, man. Listen, shout out to the homeboy Brian Jones. I still hold it against you, bro, that we hooped for Kaleem. He was a running roo. And then the boy traded and he went to Ellis. There's this handful of about 2 to 3 players who I just look at them still to this day because of my ties to the Roo Dog Nation, that I look at them and I just say, bruh, Brian Jones tagged me while I'm watching. He tagged me into the thing as well. And it was dope. Listen, I know the homeboy, shout out to Mark, knows everybody. Nurse, he was on there as well. And listen, I think that the one thing that I thought that it's a couple things, all right? A couple things that's interesting is that I can understand that, this particular, it wasn't as high in terms of you were watching the Instagram streams on how many people were there, right? That were on it. Not anywhere close to some of these other ones. I don't know that it hit 100,000 the whole time. It was probably about 70, 79, 80 the whole time that I watched it, right? And one of the things that I thought was dope is that it felt like it was 75,000 down south folks on this thing. And that was one of those things. It's almost like how I totally understand now how when you had Jada Kiss them and the Locks, and they were going against Dipset, right? And then you had like Jada Kiss, and he's out here, and he was like, New York, we outside, and it was so heavily New York, and it's just like for a New Yorker, it was like that much more potent, right? To me as a Southerner, bro, this was our equivalent to them, because this was one that you had to have grew up on their music to really appreciate it. And one of the things that I think that was crazy, bro, highlights of it, right? Things that I just didn't think about back then, right? The biggest highlight of everything, of course, they did their songs and everything, right? UGK came out, the Bun B, he did a lot of the songs. I didn't realize how many songs UGK had where Pimp C did the first verse. It always seemed like Pimp C went first, Bun B went second, whatever reason it is. So a lot of the songs that they did, there was Pimp C, and I thought that was real dope. That it was just like, that I'm still celebrating my mans. And so he would go through, and basically the crowd is kind of filling in doing the Pimp C verse. I thought it would have been dope if he would have had the boy Big Crit do the Pimp C, because he kind of, is influenced heavily about it. But I thought that was dope. I thought that I lost it, right? When Tila came out there and they did Show Enough. Now, what I didn't know, and when I think about it now, it makes sense. I didn't know this whole time that Jazzy Faye was the one that was singing "Girls in the Club Showing Love, Shaking That Ass in the Club," and "Girls in the Club." Didn't know that and the song is called "Show Enough," and it never dawned on me though, bro. Listen, and the thing I think is crazy. It's probably, I always tell people, man, like, it is one of those. It was so nostalgic, bro. Because I remember when Tila came to Colleen and performed "Show Enough," and when Tila, I thought that Tila was probably one of the dopest rappers out when that happened. Like, I think that it was crazy, because I think that Tila was one of the first concerts I remember going to. One of the first people who actually came to Colleen though, bro. I thought that it was fire though, man. That was the Tila was definitely the highlight. Now, I know that they did the draped up and dripped out. Had the boy Lil Kiki on there. Man, I absolutely loved it though, man. I loved everything about it. Loved everything. Yes. And let me tell you what's crazy, right? One of the things, you know what's funny? So here's one thing that I wanted to tell you too. And I don't know that I've ever told you this, right? You probably had so two things, right? When it comes to rapping, right? One thing that I've low-key like stole from Bun B is his there's his punch ins. Like he'll do a punch in where he'll say he'll go ahead and do something space, and then he'll keep going and then do a punch in for it. And it's like, and it's almost like he does an ad lib for a punch in. And I've always thought that the first time I heard it, like the first time I started really recording myself, I would write to specifically punch in like the Bun B punch in is cold. But the other thing that's funny though, bro, is every single time, right? I do my harmonies, right? My harmonies when I write a song, right, are almost like I'm trying to do Lloyd's harmonies on he says, so like me trying to get money till I get rich, riding the back a couple of G's in the biscuit, deep at the creek, 50 songs tucked under the brown. 50 songs tucked under the brown. And so all of my harmonies are layered just like if you go back, if you listen to that, right? And if you go and you listen to Slipping Away, the harmonies that I do, all of my songs, but Slipping Away specifically, I had in my head how Lloyd would have done that particular song though, bro. But it's one of my favorite songs because that was one of those songs where what's my dude? Bangladesh really got into his bag with this synth sound and the drums. So, but yeah, that it was epic, bro. I was all over the place with it though, man. And it was definitely one of those where if you grew up on the music, somebody is singing the songs where you know every single word to it. But if you didn't grow up on it, and you might look, you like, who the hell is this? And you might only know UGK from Big Pimpin', man. So yeah. That's what's up. But go listen when you get done. Go and listen to Forever, and you listen to it, and you listen to it. All I want you to do is listen to just the very first, because it starts out with Lloyd doing the harmonies on it, and every single. I think it's so clean, the harmonies on it. But I always try to layer all of my stuff just like that. Like it was dope, man. But Tila, it made my day though, bro. Tila came out there. Tila had the fur coat on with the fly hat, just like the boy Jazzy Faye though, man. And this was funny to me though, bro. I said Jazzy Faye, bro. Like, listen, I saw Chico Bean said, boy, Jazzy Faye was looking like me on the first season of Wild 'N Out, bro. That boy came out there looking so round and jolly though, bro. I said, no.
That's how you always been though.
I know, bro, but come on, man. Like at some point, though, listen, man. Don't at some point you just be like, all right, you know, let me slim down a little. I remember Jazzy Faye was.
I mean, if it was that easy, I think he would, bro. Like,
I know
y'all skinny people be killing me, bro. Just thinking that you could just wake up and decide I'm gonna be skinny the next day. That's what
he got money, bro. He got money. He should be. I thought that it was that easy, though, bro. If you got money, but I saw that Jazzy Faye was working with a trainer, and he had like a reality show that was on out here, though, bro. And I remember him working with a trainer and everything like that, though, man. And I was like, oh, okay, the boy Jazzy Finzel is trying to get down and lose something, though, man. I said, bro, nah. But it was fire, though, man. I thought that what was the one thing that I can say that was weird is that, and listen, shout out to Andrea checking in as well. She said, is it just me, or did it seem like Bun B didn't let them finish? I thought Mill's crazy. I almost thought kind of the opposite, because there were some times where UGK, Bun B only performed the Pimp C, where he didn't really get into his second verse. they just kind of let, but they performed the whole show enough though. I was just like, man. So I thought the opposite. I thought that Bun was letting them rock out, even though for some reason his was getting cut out the one verse in the hook though, man. So
yeah,
I don't know, but epic. You would have felt very much like Southside skating rink in 94, bro, 95, 96. It felt like that though, bro.
Yeah. That's dope. Yeah. What you got up for the weekend, bro?
Let me tell you this real quick before I go.
No worries.
One thing that is real dope about this, there was this story that I've seen Gilly the Kid, who I absolutely love me some Gilly. I've been following Gilly before they did $1 million worth of game, before they had their podcast. I've been following him for a few years. It's weird why he was like one of the first people for some reason that when I got on the gram that I was following. But what's funny is I remember him telling a story about how fearful people were of Jay Prince, right? And so he tells this story that I don't know if it was Jay Prince or Jay Prince Jr., but he was basically saying something about this. He told the story about how he was with 8Ball, and I don't know if it was MJG or whatever, but they in Houston, and he says, yeah, somebody says, there goes Jay Prince, and everybody just takes out running like they seen the boogeyman, basically though. And he said, I'm running because everybody else is running. And I have no idea why I'm running, but somebody said they saw Jay Prince. And I can understand that he was basically bigging up Jay Prince. Like, yo, this man got that kind of, his name holds that much weight. But it was funny. But Eighball was like, listen, bro, let me just correct this right there. This boy may have misremembered, but they ain't never happened. And not just that, though. He said, I think he said that was like, he said, I don't know if he said that if Gilly originally said they was in the same car or whatever. He was like, yeah, man, you ain't never, that wasn't me. You ain't in me and Jay Prince and Rap Lot always been good. We ain't never had no reason to run from Jay Prince. He always been a big homie. But I thought that it was just interesting that he picked that particular point to clarify on that story though, man, because that was, I think Gilly said that maybe like a month or two ago though, man. But maybe a little bit of embellishment there on the story, but it was still, dope moment. That was one of the things I wanted to point out too though, man. That's
what's up, bro. Yeah, so what you got up for the weekend?
You know what, man? For the weekend, I'm hoping to tighten up. I'm hoping to tighten up some of these mixes, bro. I'm mad because I've been recording and I've been getting a lot of stuff done, and I got some great songs that I just cannot get to pass the car test. Yeah. So I'm hoping to go through and polish up some of the mixes this weekend since we got a long weekend. Plus, I think on top of that, though, man, I'm looking to kind of hopefully get out and about. We've had rain here for the last couple of days, so now that it's gonna be clear, I'm trying to get out in these streets, man. What about you?
Man, I wanted to see Top Gun this weekend. It's not looking like it. Maybe sometime later on in the weekend. But other than that, bro, a whole bunch of chilling. I want to get in the lab if I can, because I got some stuff in my head. If not, I'm gonna be writing. So just a whole bunch of chilling, bro. Like this last week was a killer because some new stuff happened at my job. So been a lot. So I do want to get a chance to relax, but I definitely want to get cracking on some songs and stuff like that. Just been a little bit difficult, but definitely have that on the agenda some kind of way.
Yeah, man. I think that I gotta figure out, bro. I definitely gotta figure out why I'm not totally loving these mixes, bro. It's driving me insane because they sound good in the monitors, they sound good in my headphones for mixing, they sound good in my beats workout joints. But I put that thing in the car and it's not working for me there though, man. So I'm like, all right, if I could just get it to feel right in the car, it'll feel right everywhere else though. So I got to figure it out. But been in my bag for this writing though, man. And I'm working on getting Landon on another track. Where Landon, I'm gonna try to get Landon to go for about 8 bars this time around though, bro. So yeah.
Hey, did you hear that Kanye and XXXTentacion?
No, I heard about it, but I have not heard it. And listen, shout out to Mark. Also, by the way, I did reach out, but I have not heard back just yet. I sent a follow-up note a couple of days ago, and I was planning to send something over here over the next couple of days. I didn't want to feel like I'm just completely like pestering them and everything like that, but
could have something special.
Yeah. Appreciate you for checking on me on that one.
Look, make sure that you let me know what you think of the Kenobi when y'all watching.
Oh yeah, I'm watching that. Listen, I know that he's actually still out. I'm looking outside my window now, and I know he's still outside kicking it and doing his thing. But yeah, just as soon as he's in here, though, man, I'm trying to go ahead and watch that, man, while I'm probably eating the first time around, and then catch the second one. We getting it popping, but I'll let you know ASAP.
Yeah, because me and Sarah got to watch the episode 2. So
hey, so listen, one thing that we did get a chance to get into, I want to talk about probably on the Thursday episode. So just
Tuesday
real quick,
episode. The Tuesday episode.
The Tuesday. What day I said?
You said Thursday.
Tuesday. Dang, I'm all over the place. I had to get it on now. Did you see Ricky Williams change his name?
I'm about to say you can't call him Ricky Williams no more. But yeah,
well, listen. So I didn't even know that his name was Errick. Right? Errick makes sense that they call him Ricky. But he said that he changed his name to Errick, and now he goes by his wife's last name, bro.
Yeah, is it Miron or something like that?
So I gotta talk. We gotta talk about this.
We'll talk about it.
Is this more than new, bro? That's what I'm trying to figure out, bro.
It's for him. We'll talk about it.
We're gonna talk about that on Tuesday.
We'll talk about it. That's on the next pod. Look, man, we are. I was gonna say we are the Marauders, right? We the Slash Brothers. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe for Memorial Weekend. And thank y'all for hanging out. Join us again Tuesday at 6:00 Central Standard Time. And
7 o'clock EST. Let us know what y'all think about these topics in the comments for all y'all that watch the replay, man.
Hey, and if you want to drop us some topics, what you want to hear us talk about, we game.
Music, sir.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Slash Brothers Podcast.